Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh back with another episode 6 of Pickpocket Bets. I'm not gonna do a recap of the last episode just because it's been 2 days. I'm just gonna jump right into kind of what we have today and this weekend. We got more to talk about because we got NFL games this weekend. But I'm just gonna start it off with the NBA. So today we got 5 games, and starting off first game, we're gonna have Bucks Pacers. Right now, Giannis is a game time decision, but it says he's probable, so I'm assuming he's gonna play. I would take Bucks money line. I would put faith in -8.5. I don't really fuck with spreads that much, so for that reason, I usually put stuff. Usually, I would just put that into a parlay. Um, but I think that the Bucks will easily win the game. It's not really a question of whether they'll win or not, or if they'll cover, I guess. And the over under set at 240. I don't necessarily think that they're going to score 240 combined points. I have more faith in the Bucks defense holding the Pacers to less points than being able to score that much. I think the Bucks can score 120, but I think the Pacers will score like 90, 95. So I would take the under 240 on that. The Bucks defense is good enough. And then we got Grizzlies and Timberwolves. And for this game, Desmond Bane is a game time decision. It says he's questionable. So I don't necessarily know if he's going to play. Obviously, at right this second, I would probably wait until the game's at 7:30 Eastern. I'd probably wait until like whatever time zone you're on. I'd say wait till an hour before the game to put it down because the Bucks game starts at 6. So if you're gonna make a 5-leg parlay of all the NBA games, unless you're on a FanDuel or DraftKings or like a legal sports betting book, it's like you'll be able to live bet that into a parlay. But if you're on like an offshore book or a bookie, like you're not gonna be able to do that. So I'd recommend taking Memphis money line, even if he doesn't play. I don't think it'll be an issue. Steven Adams is also out, which could be problematic, but I wouldn't really touch the spread here. I would just take Memphis money line and assume they pull it out. It's going to be an ugly one, but I'd put more faith in Memphis than I would Minnesota right now. I'm going to check actually to see what they're. So they've played twice this year. Grizzlies won the first matchup, and the Timberwolves won the second one. And in the second matchup, let's see, Josh shot 8 for 20. Not very good. Dylan Brooks shot 4 for 14. That's not good either. And Anthony Edwards had 30, and Jalen Noel had 24. So I'm gonna just bank on the fact that Jalen Noel doesn't get 24 again. You're gonna expect Anthony Edwards or D'Lo to go off, kind of, just because those are the main scorers of the moment with Cat out. But I would stick with Memphis money line. Like I said, it's gonna be an ugly game. But I expect the Grizzlies to pull it out. And the over-under at that game set at 238. I'm gonna take the under, although it's a really tough game actually. I think actually, now that I see that Steven Adams is out, which I didn't see that before, I think there's gonna be less of an interior presence. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing, and he's kind of a lockdown. So I'm gonna say take the over. Take over 238. I think that's a safer bet. I'm gonna switch mine to the over actually too. I said under, but take the over. And then we have Heat versus Orlando. The Magic have been playing really good. They've been a good underdog team, in my opinion. I think they're like 3-0 or 2-1 against the Celtics this year. So they're gonna play Miami tough. I still expect Miami to come out with the win. I don't think that it's gonna be a blowout, but I do think they'll win the game. So I would take Miami money line. And I do like over 219.5 in that game. I think that's too low of a number. I think the over in that game is a really good play. This Cavs game is really tough in my opinion. Just because Donovan Mitchell's a game time decision. And it says he's doubtful. So you know what? If Donovan Mitchell isn't playing, this makes it really tough. Although in the first matchup that Cleveland won against OKC, he didn't play either. So it's kind of a toss up. I'm gonna give the Thunder the home court advantage here. and take Thunder money line. They've been playing really well recently. I mean, I think Shai should have been an all-star. No idea how he got snubbed out of that, but they've been playing really good basketball. I'm going to trust them at home with no Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. And I also do like the over 225 and a half. I think that's a good play. And then last but not least, we got Warriors versus the Raptors. Warriors at home, like I said, kind of in a different podcast, the Warriors at home are a completely different team than they are on the road. For that reason, I would stick with Warriors money line. It's definitely a safe play. It's minus 200, so you got to throw it into a parlay. But I do think they'll win the game, and I would take the over at 234 and a half. Both those teams score a lot of points. It's a home game for the Warriors, so they're going to be shooting a lot of threes. I would take the over. And I would say if you put like the Bucks, like I would leave the Grizzlies out and I would just do Bucks, Heat, Thunder, Warriors money line for like parlay. Keep it simple. The Grizzlies game is it's gonna be a shit show in my opinion. I would just stay away from it. I don't think it's a very good game to bet on. And so then let's get into the NHL for today. I think there's like 8 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8 games. So starting off, we're gonna have Kings at Panthers. Kings have been playing good, but when you're traveling to Florida from LA, I'm gonna give the home ice advantage to the Panthers. The first game they played against each other this year, the Kings won 5-4 in LA. I expect the Panthers to win this game in a high scoring matchup again. And so to kind of build off that, I would definitely take over 6.5. I think Panthers money line over 6.5 is the play for that game. And then next off, we got the Red Wings at the Islanders. The first game of the year they played, the Red Wings won 3-0. The Islanders have been playing really bad recently. I think they're 0 over the last 5. For that reason, I'm going to give the edge to the Red Wings. I just got to go with the hockey team that's playing better. Even though they're on the road, I don't think that the travel is going to be that much of an issue going to New York. So I'm going to give the edge to the Red Wings there. And I would also take the under. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to take the over at 5.5. I thought it was 6.5. I would take over 5.5. I think it'll be 3-2, 4-1, something like that. 5.5 is kind of a low over under for a hockey game in my opinion. And then next off, we got the Rangers hosting the Golden Knights. The Rangers won the first game of the series, I think like 4-5-1. Yeah, the Rangers won first game 5-1. They got home court here. I'm gonna expect the Rangers to defend home ice. Excuse me, not court. I think they're gonna defend home ice. I would take Rangers money line, and I like the over 6 goals. I think that's a smart play in that game. Both those teams score, so I like that. And then we have next game is going to be Carolina Hurricanes versus San Jose Sharks. I like the Canes in this matchup. They're minus like 292, so not a ton of value. You'd have to throw it into a parlay, but it should be a safe leg. I expect them to pull it out, and I also like the under 6. I think that San Jose will have an issue scoring enough goals to hit the over. I could see a 4-0 or 3-1 or 3-2 game. So I would stick with the under 6 in that. And then next off, we got the Devils visiting the Stars. The Devils have been playing good, in my opinion, recently. First game that they played this year against the Stars, they lost 4-1, and it was also at home. But in their last 5, they're 3 of their last 5, and Dallas is 2 of their last 5. I'm going to give the edge to the Devils here. I think it's good value for them to be an underdog, considering they have a better record. And their leading goal scorer has 4 less points. So I mean, and not necessarily like it's going to be a very close matchup, but I would stick. I think the Devils are a good value play as an underdog they're a very good hockey team. Anytime they're an underdog, it's like it's kind of looks nice to the eye, And I would actually take the under 6 in this game. I could see it being 3-1, 4-1 type of thing. I mean, obviously I could be wrong, but I expect there to be less than 6 total goals scored. So I take the under 6 for that. And then we have the Canucks hosting the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets won the first game. What was it? They won the first game 4-3 in overtime. I expect this to be a close hockey game, but I expect the Canucks to kind of defend home ice. They're a good team at home. I think they're going to defend home ice. And along with that, I think over 6.5 is smart. The Canucks like score a lot of goals, and so do the Blue Jackets. So I think over 6.5 is a fair number for that game, and I would easily expect there to be 7 or 8 goals scored. And last but not least, my Seattle Kraken at home versus the Flames. I gotta take Kraken money line. They've been playing amazing recently. They just blew out the Canucks like 6-2 at home or 6-1 or something like that. And for that reason too, I'm gonna say over 6. So I think Kraken money line, Kraken money line parlay with the over is a great bet. It hits a lot. If the Kraken win, they usually hit the over too. I think that would be a really good 2-legger if you wanted to cook that up. And then so moving into the NFC and AFC championship, these games are going to be extremely good. I really don't see a blowout on either side. I'd be genuinely surprised if either team blew either one of them out. And so starting off the Bengals Chiefs, I have a Bengals Super Bowl future, so I'm obviously going to say Bengals money line. I mean, Joe Burrow's 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a home game for the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs are amazing. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is an MVP and he's a Super Bowl champion. All those things are there. I'm sticking with my gut and I'm going with Joe Burrow. I think he's going to pull this one out. I think it's going to be a dogfight, as we saw last year it was last year. Last year in the AFC Championship, they beat the Chiefs. I mean, we saw how that worked out. So I think the Bengals are built to beat the Chiefs. They can run the ball. Joe Burrow is extremely good at getting through his reads. The bad offensive line doesn't really bother him that much. And their defense is good enough to where I could see that. I mean, they just shut down the Bills in Buffalo. And that's obviously Buffalo's offense has been struggling. And Josh Allen has played like trash the last kind of second half of the year, really trying to do too much, in my opinion, and really wasn't making. He missed a good amount of throws in that game that Mahomes won't miss. So there's a little bit of leeway there, but I still expect the Bengals to pull this game out. I think that they're on a mission to get back to the Super Bowl and to win it. So I'm sticking with the Bengals money line. And then I honestly didn't even check the over-under on that game. I would probably hit the over. I don't know what the number is, but just I would take. I think if you took the under, you'd be sitting there sweating it the whole time. I would take the over. And then last but not least, we got the Eagles hosting the Niners. This game is it's such a toss-up for me because you want to think that, Philadelphia with this great season they've had, great offensive line, great defense. Jalen Hurts is playing out of his mind. They can run the ball. I mean, everything points in the direction that the Eagles should win, especially given the fact that, Brock Purdy has not made a mistake. And that does not mean that Brock Purdy is not a great player. I mean, he may never make a mistake, but that's just not realistic. Everyone's going to screw up at some point. And I mean, it doesn't seem like the pressure is ever too much for him, which I'll give him that. Like, he's good under pressure, which it's tough to be when you get thrown into that situation and you got Super Bowl hopes right away. But I expect Philly's D-line to get some pressure on him. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball super effectively. I think it's going to make Brock Purdy make a play. And we'll see how that works out. And I have faith that, Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and co will do their thing, and it's going to be a really tough game for the Niners to win. Do the Niners have a chance to win? Absolutely. Do I think they will? No. I'm going to take Philadelphia money line. It's kind of controversial because the Niners have won 9 straight. Every single time I fade the Niners, they win. I hate the Niners as a Seahawks fan. I don't know. It's just a really difficult decision. I feel like you could go either way with it. I'm leaning towards the home team and the Eagles, but you never know. You never know how it'll work out. So for that's pretty much my analysis today on the NHL and the NBA and the NFL this weekend. Just real quick, gonna kind of go back through these picks. So like I said, I would take Bucks, Heat, Thunder, and Warriors money line. Just parlay those 4 together. I think that would be a good parlay. If you wanted to play it safe, I would take Heat and Bucks money line. I don't know exactly what the odds are, but if you can get minus 110 on that or minus 150, I think that's totally worth throwing 40 or $50 on it. It should hit. Over unders, like I said, are pretty subjective. I think that, what I said before about them, I think the over in the Heat game is I think over 219.5 is a lock. I'll say that confidently. I think there's no way they score under that. And kind of to build off that, I really like the Thunder over at 222.5 too. Both I think both those are really smart plays. In the NHL, I think if you want to be safe, you would take I think you could do Kraken, uh you could do Kraken, Panthers, and Rangers. I think that would be a really safe three-leg parlay. Obviously, there's never really a guarantee in betting, but I like that. I would definitely stick with those teams. But overall, I think that if you were to put all the NBA and the NHL teams into a parlay together, and maybe just leave out the Grizzlies, then you could see some good value from that, and I think there's a good chance. Usually I've been really spot on with the NHL recently. The last few podcasts I've done, I've been hitting like almost all of the money lines correctly. So I'm hoping that continues as a trend. But you know, let's uh let's go make some money today. And yeah, I'm hoping you guys tail me, and yeah, so thank you guys for listening to this episode. And like I said before, if you guys have any comments, feedback, I would greatly appreciate it in the comments section. And you guys can also drop your bets, your plays, and I have no problem talking about those as well. I'm kind of here to like draw the community in. That's like, if when you engage people, more people are going to care about it. So I definitely I'm totally down to listen to anything you guys think about or say. And please subscribe. And like I said, leave a like. Anything helps. Peace out, guys.